designing to protect and mitigate cyber threats. That's just the means to the end. The end is that the election is right, that my vote counted, and that my vote is secret. My dad's a professor, and he got a faculty position here at Western. I essentially grew up on campus. I have these memories of walking around the halls in the summertime in the 80s, kind of afraid of this ventilation duct work. Me and my sister, When it came time to find a faculty position, and you never know where you're going to end up as an academic, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to come back home and live in London and be close to my family. There's a researcher in the crypto world by the name of David Chom, and he was giving a lecture at the University of Ottawa, and my advisor sent me an email, said, hey, would you like to come meet David Chom? He's giving a talk about elections and voting and how to use essentially cryptography to prove that elections were counted up right while also maintaining ballot secrecy. And I said, yeah, that sounds really great. So I went and listened to the talk, and David was looking for graduate students to become involved in some of the work that he was doing. And that's sort of how I got bit. That's David Chom, who I was mentioning, and that's Ron Rivest, who is a famous Turing Award-winning cryptographer. And I had the absolute privilege of working with both of them on this topic. When you're a young graduate student and you have these, huge figures of the field that actually would take the time to sit down with you, talk to you, actually give you some guidance. It really means a lot to a young graduate student.
Is that the MAC address?
If you ever saw those books when you were a kid, Where's Waldo? Let's say that we were having a friendly debate and I claimed that I knew where Waldo was and you didn't believe me. So one thing I could do is just point to him in the book, but then now you know where Waldo is too, and I've spoiled it for you. But what if there was a way that I could prove to you that I knew where Waldo was, but I didn't actually reveal to you where he was, but you would be convinced by it. So that is a kind of a physical manifestation of what you might call a zero knowledge proof. So we can use cryptography, which is a kind of a special form of mathematics, to protect things that need to be protected while proving things that need to be proved, and doing both at the same time. If you have paper ballots and you're hand counting them like Elections Canada does, you can stand there as an independent observer and watch that ballot counting process. But if you want to take elections and put them online, you need a digital solution. You need some kind of digital analog to that. It turns out we can use cryptography to create that proof, that evidence that the election was counted up right, while also protecting the individual ballot secrecy of everybody involved. 444 municipalities in Ontario, about half of them now offer some kind of online voting solution. That really puts us into a new world where some of these cyber threats are something that we actually do have to deal with. We can't just think about it, we actually have to protect against it. But up until recently, there's been no standard for what an online voting system should look like, what it should offer. But I am happy to say that through the last several years, myself and my colleagues have been working, and we do now have the first national standard for online voting for Canada for municipal elections. The standard is published with the Digital Governance Standards Institute, which is a nationally accredited standards body. So any municipality that wanted to consult that standard could go to that standards agency. You can just go to their website and then download the current draft, and then they can roll that into their RFP. What Canada ultimately needs is a federal agency that can be a kind of a concentration of knowledge and expertise to then advise other bodies of government on what is, safe or maybe not so safe as far as voting goes. This is a funny story. So there's a residence on campus called Essex Hall. So when I joined faculty, we talked to the comms people. We had a reporter from, I think, Western News come out, and it was me and my dad, Professor Essex Sr., and we went and did an interview at Essex Hall, and they gave us some Essex Hall swag, which was really cool. So.